Hey guys, this is an update on my tank. It's Tuesday. It's a little bit past the prime lighting. I guess it's probably a couple hours after. My lights are sitting at about 55%, maybe 50% right now. Of course, these are AI primes on the top of this tank. This is a 75, of course, planted. And as you can see, from earlier videos, you could see, especially in this side of the tank, how much it's grown up. I really need to go in and I need to, just do a lot of trimming. I've got a sword that has grown. You can see that sword's actually starting to reproduce. See the sword shooting off. And as you can see, my swords are really healthy. They look really good. There's some algae in the tank, which is, I'm pleased because I have plecos and my plecos they're still doing some damage to my swords. I have pleco damage on the tips of my swords. There's nothing really I can do about that. After the leaves get a certain age and they get some algae on them, the plecos are destroying, or I've got a pleco that's destroying, and I think it's one. I've put some food in there, but the pleco just keeps on eating them. I can't figure out which one it is. I don't ever see him do it, but he is eating it. As you can see, the bottom of the tank is covered. It's nice carpet across the back, the whole tank actually. Even in the back there, it's popping up. And on the other side, this rock right here. That's S reopens on the bottom. Easy to grow. Don't really need CO2. I am running CO2. But I run CO2 basically to keep my pH constant. At night, the plants give off CO2 during the day. I don't want my pH fluctuating up and down according to the pH. pH is running around 7.0 flat. I think I'm kind of lucky to have that. The pH stays pretty stable. My fish are happy. I haven't lost a fish in a while. My two angels keep laying eggs, and I'm not sure if they move the eggs or they move the young. You can't see it, but there's an angel way in the back there, and there's the male right there that is guarding over that whole side of the tank. But I can't find the baby. There's so much vegetation back there that I cannot locate where the babies are. So that could be a good thing. I've got a couple things that I've added since the last video. Kind of got an idea. I had an old CO2 diffuser or generator or whatever it's called, but I had an old one laying around, but it leaked. So what I did is I put it on the inside of the tank, so I don't have to worry about leaking. And then, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to put a black sponge around those clips right there. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's spinning on the inside. So the CO2 goes in and it spins around, and then it shoots it all the way down to bottom, which goes down to the bottom of the tank. And then as it's coming up, it's getting caught into sponges, whatever CO2. There are sponges all up in there. And that adds for a little bit of the extra filtration too. But then it pushes it out the top of the reactor. It's a reactor. And that's working out really well. The CO2, I almost have 100% dissolve rate. I don't see how I'm, losing any CO2 at all. I think that's a great way to so you don't have to worry about, because that thing was cheap. That reactor is a cheap reactor. I don't trust it behind my tank. I don't want to come home and have 50 gallons of water on my floor. So I just went ahead and just threw it inside the tank. And that way I don't have to worry about it leaking and everything's good. That's working out well. I'm running, somebody asked a question about filtration. I'm running a Fluval 70 on the back, and underneath I am running a Cascade 1000 rated for 100 gallons. So I have more than enough filtration. I think that Cascade's about 270 gallons an hour, and this one is about 320 gallons an hour, or 300. So I'm running about 600 gallons an hour filtration, and which is plenty. You know, I don't have any problem. It's so heavily planted that I don't have a nitrate problem, don't have an ammonia problem, I don't have any kind of problem with the way, you know, the fish are healthy. I don't lose fish. It's pretty good balance. And as you can see, my CO2 is sort of onto the side. You can see the CO2 drip rate is right there. And it's not very fast. You know, it's not fast for a 75. And the CO2 reader is great. It's sitting sort of at a bluish screen where I want it. I don't want a lot of CO2 in this tank. One of the things that I wanted to do, guys, with this tank is I didn't want it to be, I know it's a planted dirt tank, but I wanted to put fish in this tank. You know, it's an aquarium, and I love fish, and I wanted fish in this tank. But I also wanted a lot of plants. I wanted both. And so what I've done is I've sort of came up with, it's dirt, it's cheap, got a lot of plants in there, which help, you know, with oxygen. It helps with keeping the water clean. And then I have the CO2, not necessarily for the plants as much as regulating the pH. And what that allows me to do is, since I'm not really concentrating on plants and I'm not really concentrating on fish, what I'm wanting to do is I'm going to add more and more fish to this tank. And so I might end up putting another 70 over here. I don't know. But that's my goal, is I want to keep putting fish in this tank. I like going and purchasing fish. And I'm going to keep doing it. And if you noticed, I have all different types of fish. I have a flagfish right here. See that? There's a little flagfish. This right here is an Odessa barb. I have rainbows. There's a neon rosy barb. Here is a white tip tetra. And then there's a school back there of about 10 neons. Then glow light tetras. Back there in the back, which is a cool fish, I really like these a lot. It looks like a tiger barb. It's not. It's a 5-band bar. They're not aggressive. They don't have to worry about fin nipping. I've got 3 of those. There's another one sitting back there. All right. I've got a really cool loach. I forgot what it was called. But I've got a cool loach in the back. He definitely comes out when I'm feeding him. But, you know, everything's going well. The only thing that I sort of don't like is I've got some angelfish aggression now. You know, I've got 2 angels that paired up over here, and they really chase everything off. They've gotten aggressive because they're constantly laying eggs. Over here, I've got all my angels sort of stacking on top of each other, which is fine for right now. I don't think I've had another one of them pair up. These 2 might have paired up, but they're not laying eggs or anything. But they sort of hang together all the time. These 2 right here sort of hang together a little bit. And he's got a tear on his fin right there, the top, if you see it, which is not seen that before. You see it? We must be getting a little frustrated with this guy right here, who is basically the biggest fish in the tank, and he is, you know, constantly guarding this tank. And even the rainbows are being pushed over here to the side, so I might have to do something with these angels, because I like my fish to be spread out evenly around the tank. And even this, you know, this angelfish back here, look at those fins. It's a pretty angelfish. It's a shame that his fins are getting nipped a little bit by the other angelfish. Other than that, everything's going good, guys. I'm enjoying the tank. It's a great hobby. Let me know what you guys think. Any suggestions you have. These are AI primes at top. I love these lights. They're awesome on a 75. I will not go back to strips ever again, because it's just I like the way the lighting is. I don't have to run 2 strips. I run 2 of these, and it's just better. It gives you better all around lighting. I got lighting in the front, the back. I don't have to worry about it. It is more expensive, but I like it. One of the things I might add to this tank as I step back and you can look at it, is I want to add a canopy to hide some of the filtration that I want to put. And I also want to put some more stuff back here on the tank. And I might want to put a breeding box back there and something on top of the tank. You know, I'm not totally sure, but, you know, I want to do that. But if I do that, I want to have a canopy because I don't have a lot of room in my house for, you know, having an extra side tank or something. But on the back of the tank, I was thinking about putting a canopy. Like a little breeding tank. And but I don't know. I'm going to look at, you know, into that some more. But other than that, that's the tank, guys. Dirted 75, running AI primes, 300 watt aqua, not aqua clear, it's an aqua tap, I believe, heater, which I really like. I will never go back to another heater that does not have one of these. Absolutely love this. Great heater. You know, it's a, yep, aqua top. Love this heater. I've had Enheims, and I'm not going to ever go back to an Enheim again. I'm going to stick with this. It does a really good job with temperature. Temperature right here says 79.3. This says 81. I have learned that temperature over there is about a degree off, and this is a degree off. The true temperature of this tank is around 80, probably 80 degrees. So that's my tank. Talk to you guys later.